The knock on the door came at 11:47 p.m. Sarah Jenkins froze on the couch, her teacup trembling in her hands. Nobody visited this isolated house in rural Oregon after 9 at night. Nobody. The sound came again, more insistent this time. 3 slow, deliberate knocks that seemed to echo through her bones. She stood up slowly, her bare feet silent on the cold wooden floor. Through the side window, she could see 2 small silhouettes on the dimly lit porch. Children. 2 children standing perfectly still under the faint porch light. Sarah felt her stomach turn. What kind of parents would let children wander alone at this hour? The nearest road was 2 miles away. She approached the door, but something made her stop. Something primal, visceral. Her instinct screamed not to open that door. The children weren't moving. They didn't shift from foot to foot, didn't look around, didn't make any movement that real children would make. They remained there, statues of flesh and bone, waiting. The knock came for the 3rd time, and with it, a voice. Thin, high-pitched, but strangely monotone. Please, open the door. We need to come in. It's so cold out here. Sarah swallowed hard. Her hand was inches from the doorknob when she noticed the detail that would change everything. It was uncold. It was a summer night, humid and muggy. Why the hell would they say it was cold? My name is Sarah Jenkins, and I'm recording this because I need someone to know what happened. If you're watching this video, it means there might still be time for you. Time to avoid the mistake that almost destroyed my life. What I'm about to tell you isn't fiction. Isn't an urban legend I read on the internet. It's real. It happened to me 3 weeks ago, in a small town I won't name, for reasons that will become clear. It all started that August night, when 2 children appeared at my door. But these weren't ordinary children. There was something wrong with them, something deeply disturbing that my brain took too long to process. Before I continue, I need you to understand something. There are rules in this world we do unlearn in school, ancient rules, passed down in whispers and nightmares. And the most important one is this. If black-eyed children appear at your door, no matter what they say, no matter how much they beg, never open that door. I almost opened it. God in heaven, I almost opened it. And in the next few minutes, I'll tell you exactly what happens when you get too close to these things. But first, leave a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I need to know how far this message has reached. I need to know how many people still have a chance to save themselves. 3 days before the children appeared, I had moved into that house, an isolated cabin inherited from my Aunt Miriam, who passed away at 87 without ever marrying or having children. I was her only living relative, and the will was clear. The property was mine, along with all her belongings. The house sat in the middle of a dense pine forest, accessible only by a dirt road that wound for 15 minutes from the main highway. It was exactly the kind of isolation I needed after a turbulent divorce from Marcus and losing my job at the publishing house. My therapist called it a healing retreat. I called it escape. The move was quick. Some books, clothes, my laptop, and I was settled. The house was surprisingly cozy, with its exposed wooden beams, stone fireplace, and that sense of solidity that only old constructions possess. Aunt Miriam had impeccable taste in rustic decoration, but there was something strange I noticed on the first day. All the windows had thick, heavy curtains, the kind that completely blocks out light. And stranger still, each door and window had small symbols carved into the frames, interlocking circles, 5-pointed stars, letters and alphabets I didn't recognize. I thought it was just my aunt's eccentricity. Perhaps some interest in the occult she developed in old age. I removed some of the uglier symbols from the front door, sanding the wood to make it more presentable. It was probably the biggest mistake of my life. For the first 2 days, the solitude was almost therapeutic. I walked through the forest, read on the porch, cooked simple meals. At night, the silence was absolute, broken only by the occasional call of owls or the rustling of small animals in the woods. But on the 3rd night, something changed. I woke at 3 in the morning with the unmistakable sensation of being watched. My 2nd-floor bedroom had a large window facing the forest. I got up and pulled the curtain aside slightly. Nothing but darkness and the silhouettes of pines against the starry sky. I returned to bed, but sleep didn't come easily. The next morning, I found small footprints on the porch. Bare footprints, the size of a 10 or 12-year-old child. They started at the forest's edge, climbed the porch steps, stopped at the front door, made 3 complete circles in the same spot, and then descended again toward the woods. There were no returned footprints along the same trail. It was as if whoever had made them simply vanished upon reaching the tree line. I tried to convince myself they were just local kids, playing some prank, but a part of me, that primal part that still knows how to listen to the universe's warnings, whispered that I should leave. I should have listened. That afternoon, I drove to the small town 20 minutes away to buy groceries. The only store was a family market where everyone seemed to know each other. When I casually mentioned I was living in old Miriam Blackwood's house, the silence was immediate. The lady at the register, a woman in her 60s with gray hair, looked at me with an expression I couldn't decipher. Fear, pity. "You're living there alone?" she asked, her voice low. "Yes, for now." "Why?" She exchanged glances with the butcher, a burly man who had stopped cutting meat to watch us. "Your aunt was a very wise woman," the lady said slowly. "Very careful. I hope you are too." Careful about what? But she just shook her head and went back to scanning my groceries, refusing to elaborate. When I left, I felt the stares of all the customers following me to the door. Back at the house, I tried researching my aunt online, but found very little. Some mentions in property records, a basic obituary, nothing about hobbies, interests, or anything that explained the symbols carved throughout the house. That night, the 4th since my arrival, I decided to take a relaxing bath and then watch a movie in the living room. I put water on to boil for tea, lit some scented candles, and was beginning to feel at home for the first time. That's when I heard it, a light scratching at the back door. Then another, like small nails sliding across wood. I froze in the kitchen, the kettle beginning to whistle softly. The sound stopped. I waited, holding my breath. Silence. Then laughter. High-pitched, crystalline, a child's laughter coming from outside the door. My heart raced. I approached the kitchen window and peeked through the curtains. There was a girl there. She couldn't be more than 10 years old, wearing a faded blue dress that looked like it came from the 1950s. She was facing away from the house, perfectly still, as if waiting for something. "Hello?" I called, my voice coming out weaker than intended. The girl didn't turn. "Are you okay?" "How you lost?" Slowly, so slowly it seemed unnatural, she began to turn. First, her shoulders, then her torso, finally her head. And when her face became visible under the faint moonlight, I instinctively took a step back. She was smiling, but it wasn't a child's smile. It was too wide, too stretched, revealing teeth that seemed slightly pointed. "Can I come in?" she asked, her voice echoing strangely. "I'm so cold." And then she raised her face completely into the light, and I saw her eyes were completely black. Not just the pupils. The entire eyeball, from sclera to iris, was black as shiny coal. No white, no color. Just emptiness. I let out a muffled scream and backed away from the window, knocking over a chair in the process. When I looked again, seconds later, she was gone. No sound of footsteps walking away. No movement in the woods. Just vanished. I spent that night awake, all the house lights on, with a kitchen knife in my lap. Nothing else happened, but I knew, with a certainty that went to my bones, that this wasn't over. It was only beginning. The morning brought a false sense of security. Sunlight streamed through the windows, birds sang, and the previous night's experience seemed almost surreal. Almost. But the footprints were there again, fresh in the dew-damp earth. This time, not from one child. From 2, and they didn't just circle the house. They had stopped at every ground floor window, as if someone had inspected each possible entry point. My hands trembled as I photographed the marks with my phone. I tried calling the police, but the signal was weak and the call dropped 3 times. Eventually, I managed to speak with an officer who sounded bored and disinterested. He promised to send someone, but no one ever showed up. I spent the day searching the house, looking for anything my aunt might have left about those symbols. In the attic, inside a dusty box, I found a diary. The handwriting was meticulous, dated from decades ago. I started reading, and what I found made my blood run cold. My aunt had documented encounters with the same children. Page after page of sightings, behavior patterns, invasion attempts. September 5th, 10th, 1983. They came again. 3 nights in a row now. The symbols are keeping them away, but I can feel their presence growing stronger. They want in. They always want in. I kept reading, my heart racing with each page. My aunt had researched extensively. There were records of these encounters going back centuries. Black-eyed children. They weren't real children. There were something ancient using the form of children because they knew it was the most effective way to get what they wanted. An invitation to enter, November 1st, 1983. I almost opened the door tonight. They're persuasive. Convincing. They use your own compassion against you. But then I remembered what happened to Harold Peterson in 1971. They found his body 3 days later. Technically alive, but empty. As if something had sucked out everything he was and left only the vessel. I slammed the diary shut, my heart pounding. I continued reading, and a pattern emerged. The black-eyed children appeared in cycles, years of silence, then a surge of sightings. Always at isolated houses, always at night, and always with the same request. Permission to enter. They cannot cross the threshold without invitation. This is the most important rule. No matter what they say, no matter how they beg, don't open the door. Don't say yes. Don't give permission in any form. A more recent entry, from just 6 months ago, was particularly disturbing. I'm old now, weak. I worry about what will happen to this house when I'm gone. The symbols need to be maintained. The house needs to be protected. Whoever inherits this property needs to understand the danger. I had removed the symbols. God in heaven, I had sanded part of them off the front door. I ran to my bag and grabbed the diary again, frantically searching for instructions on how to recreate the symbols. I found entire pages of diagrams and instructions. The afternoon was spent carving the symbols again at each entrance. My hands ached, but I didn't stop. I used a sharp knife and followed the diagrams exactly as shown. Rock salt on door thresholds. Horseshoes above the lip. Bunches of vervain hung at windows. Everything the diary specified. When twilight came, I was exhausted but had finished. Every entrance was protected. I prepared a simple dinner, though I could barely eat. My stomach was tight with anxiety. I knew they would come again. The question was when. I didn't have to wait long. At 10:15 p.m., the knocking began. Not at the front door this time, but at the back. 3 slow knocks. Pause. 3 knocks again. We know you're in there. The voice was a boy's, young, maybe 8 or 9 years old. Please help us. We're lost. I stayed in the living room, frozen. Our mother left us here. We're scared. Another voice now. The girl I had seen the night before. Can we use your phone? We just need to call someone. It was so convincing, so perfectly calibrated to evoke sympathy. I felt tears in my eyes, but not from sadness, from anger. How dare they use human protective instinct against me? I know what you are, Primera Sa. Eat loudly, my voice breaking. You're not coming in. Silence, then laughter. Not childlike this time. Low, guttural, completely inhuman. You remove the protections. We can feel Italiano. There are gaps. My blood ran cold. Had I missed a symbol, left a window unprotected? I began circling the house, frantically checking each entrance. Everything seemed in place. But then I saw it, the bathroom window on the 2nd floor. Small, frosted glass that I had completely forgotten. No symbol, no protection. And when I ran up the stairs, I could see through the glass. A small face pressed against the other side. Completely black eyes staring at me. smiling. "We found it," it whispered. "We found the way." I threw myself against the bathroom door, slamming it hard. My hands shook so badly I could barely turn the key in the lock. On the other side of the small window, I heard movements, light scratching on the glass, the sound of nails scraping gently, experimentally. "You look tired," said the voice, now soft, almost maternal. "So tired. Why don't you open the window?" "Just a little bit, to let the fresh air in." I closed my eyes tightly. I needed to think. The diary. I ran back to the bedroom and grabbed my aunt's diary, desperately flipping through pages. There had to be something about unprotected windows, some emergency solution. I found it. In case of breach in protections, salt in continuous line on the sill. Burnet verbein, and above all, don't look directly at them. Eye contact creates a connection they can exploit. Don't look. But I had already looked. Those black eyes were burned into my memory. I grabbed the salt from the kitchen and went back upstairs. Without looking at the window, I spread a thick line of salt on the ledge. The scratching stopped immediately. "Smock," said the boy's voice. "Like your aunt. She kept us away for decades. But she's gone now, isn't she?" I didn't respond. My aunt had written that they fed on interaction. Each response, each acknowledgement, strengthened the connection. You're going to make a mistake. Eventually, everyone does. You'll fall asleep. You'll forget to check a door. You'll leave a gap, and we'll be waiting. I went downstairs and lit dried vervain in the fireplace, letting the acrid smoke fill the house. According to the diary, the smell repelled them. The hours dragged on. I sat in the living room with all the lights on, the diary in my lap, a knife on the table beside me. But at 2:34 a.m., the electricity went out. A complete blackout. The music stopped. The lights went out. Only the faint glow of the fireplace illuminated the room. And then I heard it. Footsteps upstairs. Small, light, inside the house. My heart nearly stopped. Impossible. I had protected everything. How could they be inside? "Sarah," called a voice that made me go pale. It was my aunt's voice. "Sarah, dear, why are you so afraid?" Tears streamed down my face. "It's me, Sarah. Open the bedroom door. I need to talk to you." It wasn't her. It couldn't be. My aunt was dead. But the voice was perfect. Every inflection, every tone. "You're not real," I whispered. Soft laughter. "No. Are you sure? Remember when you were 7 and broke your mother's favorite vase? Who covered for you? Details only my aunt would know." "How? We're inside you now, Sarah." "The moment you looked into our eyes, we entered. Not physically. Not yet. But we're in your mind. We know your fears, your memories, your loves." I put my hands over my ears, but the voice continued. "Just open the door, Sarah. Let us in completely. It will hurt less that way." I grabbed a knife and went up the stairs, knowing it was a terrible idea but unable to remain passive. But when I reached the top, there was no one. The hallways were empty. Every door closed as I had left them. I checked the bathroom. The salt was still intact. The windows, all sealed. That's when I realized they were never inside. It was psychological. Everything created to make me believe the protections had failed. To make me panic. To make me make a mistake. I looked out the hallway window. Down below, illuminated by the moon, there they were. Not 2 children. 7. All in a perfect circle around the house. All looking up. At me. And when our eyes met, I felt something move inside my mind, like cold fingers exploring my thoughts. I fell to my knees, but it was too late. I could feel them rifling through memories. My first day of school, the smell of cinnamon from my grandmother's kitchen, the exact moment Marcus said he wanted a divorce, and they were there, in those memories. They had always been there. You're beginning to understand. We've always been with you, Sarah. With all of you, waiting in the shadows of every memory, every nightmare. I crawled away from the window. I needed to break the connection. I bit my tongue hard. The pain brought clarity. Blood filled my mouth. I staggered to the bathroom and turned on the faucet. Thrusting my hands under the icy stream, I threw water on my face, my neck. I revoke all invitation, I began, my voice hoarse. I revoke all invitation. You are not welcome. There is no place for you here. The laughter was like breaking glass, but you did invite us. When you looked into our eyes, when you acknowledged us, every word was an invitation. Sarah, verbal invitation not given is not invitation. I recited the words from the diary. Acknowledgement is not permission. I revoke all invitation. You are not welcome. There is no place for you here. This time, there was silence. I revoke all invitation. You are not welcome. There is nitrogen monoxide place for you here. The third repetition came out as a scream, and with it, I felt something tear, like invisible threads being cut. The presence in my thoughts receded. I went downstairs slowly. The house was silent. I looked out the window carefully. They were still there. The circle of 7 children, but now they were more distant at the tree line. And as I watched, they began to retreat. 1 step, 2 steps, merging with the forest shadows. The last to disappear was the boy. Before vanishing, he spoke. You won this night, Sarah Jenkins. But we're still here. We always will be. And one night, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a year, you'll make a mistake. An unlocked window, a forgotten symbol, a moment of weakness. And we'll be waiting. Then they vanished. At dawn, I called the local church priest. He answered, groggy with sleep, Father Morrison. My name is Sarah Jenkins. I'm at old Miriam Blackwood's house, and I need help. Long pause. Did the children come? His voice was completely awake now. Yes. Did you let them in? No. But then there's still hope. I'll be there in an hour. Don't open the door for anyone until I arrive. When he arrived, he wasn't alone. There was an elderly woman with him. White hair, tied in a tight bun. This is Margaret Chun. She understands these things better than I do. Margaret inspected the house, checking each symbol. You did a good job. The protections are strong, but they made deep contact with you. You're marked now. Marked how? They never forget a face that looked back. They never stop looking for a way in. You'll have to be vigilant for the rest of your life, or you can do what your aunt did. Become a guardian. Learn the ancient practices. Protect not just yourself, but help others. That was my choice. Today, 3 weeks later, I still live in this house. But now I understand my purpose. My aunt wasn't eccentric. She was a guardian. And now I am too. That's why I'm telling this story. Because you need to know. They're out. They're out, waiting. And if one day they knock on your door, remember, no matter what they say, no matter how helpless they seem, never open that door. Because once you invite evil in, you can never completely cast it out again.